Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of GameStop, ticker symbol GME. And so here I am recording this on Wednesday, January 15th in the morning during pre-market as GameStop closed yesterday down over 10% at a price of $27.88. But we are seeing a little bit of a bounce in the pre-market, up about 2.7% or so above $28 a share. So I do think that is looking pretty good, and I think that is following the results that the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, has fallen in line with expectations. And that is, of course, after Producer Price Index, which came out, I believe, Tuesday morning, and that actually beat expectations. So I think a lot of that news is kind of behind us. The stock market can continue on. And in the case of GameStop, I do think we might be seeing a pretty nice bounce and reclaiming some levels. So I wanted to go over that. But first, I kind of wanted to go over, how we were forming a top over here. There were some signals and some levels that I think will be pretty important for us to reclaim. And so one of those levels is this level here at $32.12, or perhaps, just right around $32 a share. And so 32.12 was the high that was hit on November 26th. And as you can see, following that, it took us a little bit of time to get back up to that level and reclaim it, getting a close above it. And so I do think that is a pretty important level, especially because when we did close above it, actually 2 days in a row on December 27th, we closed at a price of $32.20, so just 8 cents above that level. But then we went below, actually going below this orange uptrend, then got a few more days trading above 32.12, hitting a high of 34.40 on January 7th, and then we saw this pretty massive sell-off. And so, getting up to that high of 34.40, I was just looking to find some levels to the downside if in case it did break down. And as you can see, we did get to some of those levels. And so when we hit that high of 34.40, it did look like we were forming a double top here. And the high from December 26th was at a price of 34.37, so just 3 cents lower than this secondary high. And there are some signals with that did suggest this was a double top and we would be pulling back. One is that we saw a higher high in the price, slightly higher, perhaps that might get you to think it's bullish. But if we actually look down at the RSI, but actually, if we look down at the volume, we saw a higher volume corresponding with that lower high, that initial high on the 26th of December. And then we came down in the volume over here. So there was a little bit of divergence there, while not necessarily with the RSI, there definitely was with the volume. And so that suggested that there wasn't enough backing this move to 34.40, and we started to roll over. Over the next couple of days, we did come down, and then actually on Monday of this week, on the 13th, we closed below that orange uptrend, and also we closed below the low from last Friday on the 10th, which was at a price of 31.40. We closed on Monday this week at 31.02, and so that really kind of signaled the sell-off. And personally, I was expecting it to bounce right around $29. Here we have the 618 at 29.30, but of course we blew through that yesterday on Tuesday, January 14th. But it does look like we may have found some nice support right around $28 a share, hitting the 786 at 27.92. So I'm hopeful that that level will be serving as support. We will be bouncing, perhaps consolidating over the next couple of days, but really ideally it would be nice to get a V-shaped bounce heading up higher. And as we do move higher, I think that 32 will again be acting as a key level that we need to get above and close above. But just above that is going to be this orange uptrend, which I've gone over in previous videos. And just to take a step back, we can see where that originates from. It actually goes back quite some time when we were hitting this low, let's see, on April 23rd of 2024, that was a low of $10.01, just 6 cents higher than the low that was hit on April 16th. And so from that pivot point, if I connect it with the pivot low from August 5th, which was a key day in the market, markets gapped down and then closed higher. That was a key pivotal bottom before we started to rally higher. And so I think that's a pretty important uptrend. As you can see more recently, we have been consolidating around it, slowly forming higher highs and higher lows. So I think that's good. But if we do start to come down to around $26 a share, here a full retracement will be at $26.15, which was the low of December 5th. And actually on that day, Roaring Kitty put out his tweet on the Time magazine cover talking about you. And I think that we might be going higher. And we have since then, but we have seen this pullback. I think that it looks like it's a dip buying opportunity as, I forgot to look this up before doing the video. But if I do look up the let's see, Greeks for GameStop, meaning if I look up the max pain for this week, we can see that max pain for GameStop is $25 a share. Considering that we're still notably above that, I still think this looks really, really good for GameStop. If we even hang out around, 28 for a couple of days, we're still closing above max pain. And I really just think that this was an effort to be bringing the price down to lower, to getting closer to max pain. So not so many contracts are closing in the money, which is of course good for retail, bad for market makers. And that's really what we want to be seeing. So as long as we're holding above 26.15, I think this is looking really good. And if we start to hold around 28, I think that is a dip bottom that we are forming, and we will be back up to around $32 a share, perhaps in the next couple of weeks. So, take advantage while down here. But if we start to get below 26, I think that's looking bad, and perhaps we could be coming down to, around Roaring Kitty's average from his YOLO post that he posted 8 months ago. I'm not sure how long it's been, but that would be at an average of $23.41. But perhaps he posts an update, and perhaps he owns more now, and maybe his average is right around 25, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, I was just going through the charts this morning and seeing this level be hit last night. I was pretty excited about it, so I just wanted to share. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.